Hey folks, here OS Reviews. You're watching our video review of the Spracht BluNote Pro. This is a Bluetooth conference mate speaker that also works for playing back music, but the emphasis here is going to be on talking. And so if you are a businessman or you're in an office, this is going to be great for using great as a speakerphone device that you connect to a tablet or to a smartphone for you to conference and to chat with friends and other people. So audio here is going to be again based on the voice, and that's the most important aspect, and it also has dual microphones for noise cancellation. We'll discuss those elements later on in this review. Again, it can also be used for playing back music and used as a traditional Bluetooth speaker, but that's not the main feature or the main selling point. So with that being said, we'll discuss how music playback pans out later on as well. Taking out the packaging here, this is a $99 speaker, so pretty inexpensive for the features that it offers. You can see on the side here it has a numeric caller ID section, which shows the number which is being called in, hence the fact that it's being a conference mate or a BluNote Pro. And on the side here, you also have access to a 1,500 milliamp hour battery, which is supposedly larger than the competition. It's great for music, great for voice. It's a stereo speaker. And on the side here, there's some more information that gets the best of the CES award for 2013. And there's also a application that you can download for your iOS device to improve the conferencing quality of the speaker itself. So on the side there, you have some advertising about the product itself, and the packaging is actually fully recyclable, which is always good. And you have some certifications including aptX and CSR, which supposedly enhances the sound quality, also good. And over here we see how we have a capacitive control for the actual numbers and the different play pause and selections for the music, which is going to be interesting. There's also again two microphones, which means it has active noise cancellation, and it reduces any background noise when you're talking to someone. Again, because this is a conference speaker, that's going to be the heavy emphasis here. The back features some additional advertising about the unit itself, and you can find this product directly from the company's website, or you can also find it from Amazon.com. And we ordered this model from Amazon. It arrived in 3 days after we ordered it, so pretty fast shipping from the company's part. So inside the packaging itself, we have a series of documents and documentation. We're going to set that off to the side. We have, of course, the speaker itself that we'll take a look at in a moment. There's also access to a little box that contains all your accessories, and these correspond to the power adapter and basically the way for you to plug it into the wall to get some power and also to charge the unit. Something that's kind of interesting here is the company didn't want to go with a traditional micro USB adapter, so we're going to see a proprietary charging adapter being used here. As you can see, the cable length is actually unit. We have actually on the front the stereo speakers to the left and right, and the design in general looks pretty classy. It looks like a nice and professional speaker that you'll have, and it's comfortable for you to place on a desk or on any surface. On the bottom here embedded is actually the company's logo, and the overall the speaker feels pretty nicely constructed in the hand. It feels fairly sturdy. It's actually made mainly out of plastic materials, but it's a glossy plastic material, so it tracks a fair amount of fingerprints. On the back you'll find more information about the operation of the unit and also a power on and off switch. There's also an auxiliary slot for you to plug in a 3.5mm jack in case your device doesn't have Bluetooth. You want to use just a standard wired connection. There's also the DC input for the charging, and that's basically it as far as the design goes. The bottom features two rubber feet, which prevents the speaker itself from sliding around when being placed on a surface or desktop. So taking on the top here, as the device claims, we have a capacitive touch sensor. So for all the controls, including skipping tracks, changing the volume, hanging up the call, or powering your device on and off, we have capacitive controls that are illuminated to be red in darker environments, which is pretty cool. They're rather sensitive and they're easy to press because they are capacitive, and so you'll use your fingertips. And at the bottom here, again, you just have a small numeric display that will show you the dialer pad when someone is calling you and you're answering a call using this particular. To peel off the protective film here. You can see the display underneath a bit more clearly. It's just a traditional display as far as that's concerned. And finally on the top here, let's take out this protective film. There we go, and you can kind of faintly see where the actual controls will come into place. Now, of course, one thing I can tell right away is that it's a huge fingerprint magnet, so you'll probably want a cleaning cloth with you and to wipe it down occasionally every few weeks after you start using it, because it's going to attract quite a bit of fingerprints, dust, and grime, just because of the nature of the glossy piano BluNote Pro with your actual phone. There's actually going to be a display that flickers around here that says connection has been enabled and connection on, and it tells you you have successfully established the Bluetooth link between your phone and the device itself. So if we wanted to play back a sample piece of music and turn up the volume, now turn it back down. Something I can tell immediately from the music performance of the device is that it's actually very crisp sounding. So as far as music playback goes as a general Bluetooth speaker, it actually does a surprisingly decent job. Is it the best Bluetooth speaker we've seen? Probably not, just because it seems to lack a little bit of bass. But the music clarity is really there, and the voices and the instrumentals sounds really clean, crisp, and realistic sounding as well. Something we were really impressed about these pair of speakers was that even at higher volumes, there's little distortion. So you can turn up the volume quite loud, and it can quite fill up smaller rooms for parties and for those situations. And you can hear that even at louder volumes, you won't hear any static or any hissing. Something else that you will find on most Bluetooth speakers is that there's a bit of distortion in general, where you will find a bit of hissing or background noise. But on these speakers, it's basically not there. So you get a very clean sounding experience, which is perfect for pop music, popular music, electronic music, and also other types of party music. It works pretty well. It's not the most richest sounding pair of speakers, but as a general rule, we have to say that we're pretty impressed with the musical experience. Of course, you can then easily adjust the volume by going up and down, and the device itself has a pretty interesting way of adjusting and showing the volume. So we simply tap on it, and it displays kind of these bars that you go one by one to fill up, and as you go down, it shows that the volume is being turned down. If we go up, it shows the icons being filled up, and that means we are now at maximum volume. It's pretty sensitive, it's easy to use. The controls in general are very sensitive and responsive. The same can be basically said about the conferencing experience. The built-in microphones on here with the two microphones really does help with background noise cancellation. So if I'm talking even in a noisier environment, I found that oftentimes the callers said that they really couldn't hear the background noise at all. They could only hear our voice, which is good. And from our end, the actual other side of the spectrum sounded also clean and crisp, and the callers didn't really sound echoey. They sounded clean, and it's a great speakerphone experience as well. As far as compared to other Bluetooth speakers we've seen in the past, the company's expertise in this area really does shine through, and we found conferencing on the device to be a joy, just because, again, it's easy to see. You can see the numeric caller ID scroll across the screen, just like it will on your phone, and it's easy to adjust the volume, easy to adjust the controls, and the quality of the phone calls are clean, crisp, and responsive. At the end of the day, we definitely consider ourselves fans of the BluNote Pro Bluetooth speaker and conference mate, and this is because it does a great job of being both a Bluetooth speaker as well as a conferencing device. It's powerful, it's lightweight, it's classy in design and also elegant, and it's really easy to get situated and also set up. The sound quality on the device impressed us with its wide range and clarity in the sound, and also the fact that the battery life holds quite a bit of charge is always a plus. You can check out more information about this product in our full written review down in the description box below, but for now, this has been our video review. Thank you for watching here at OS Reviews. This has been the BluNote Pro Bluetooth speaker.